Today we will be comparing two ray guns from Cold War and Vanguard zombies against one another to see if there's any big differences between them or if they're just the same weapon ported over to the same game. First of all, if you don't know, the ray gun basically got a huge makeover in Cold War. The damage became insane. It became like one of the best wonder weapons in zombies history, in my opinion. Just the main thing you ever wanted to unlock. Considering the fact Vanguard is in the state that it is, it just feels like an interesting point of view to see if it's the exact same thing, look wise, damage wise, and feel wise. Before we fully get into it though, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to hitting 31,000 subscribers and that is super close. And also be sure to drop a like on the video. Can we aim for 100 likes? I haven't aimed for a goal recently, but this video actually did take me quite some time to make the research, so I would very much appreciate it if you could drop a like. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So just to keep this fair, I'm not going to be comparing the ray gun, let's say, from other maps on Cold War. I'm specifically just going to be talking about the ray gun itself, the current version that we have versus the current version that I was able to use on Fang before the brand new DLC came out. And the first thing I want to go over is how easy these ray guns are to unlock. So on Cold War, the main thing that you would be looking at to unlock the ray gun is the mystery box, crystals, which are kind of not on every single zombies map. One thing I will point out, it is on the Machine F, Forsaken, and Outbreak, so I just decided to include this, and also specific Easter eggs, if it's from the bunny Easter egg to the specific Easter egg to unlock the ray gun. And then looking at Vanguard, I'm going to also assume there will be a future Easter egg on DLC 1 and whatever DLCs we see in the future that will specifically allow you to unlock the ray gun from them, because it just seems like an appropriate thing. But you do also have the classic mystery box way and also crystals and chests, hence why I included on Cold War, because these are probably your best bet to unlock the ray gun on Vanguard. If you want a little helpful tip, don't go for the box. It's incredibly difficult. I'm pretty sure I hit the box over like 200 times for this video to see if I can get the ray gun, and I never got it. So you're better off going for the chests and also the crystals on Vanguard. The next thing is we are going to compare the look and sound of it. First of all, it sounds exactly the same to me. There doesn't seem to be any differences, reload sound, shooting sound, but where it does change up is the way it looks, but it's nothing severe. There's this one part of the ray gun that I actually never paid attention to until I saw it on Vanguard, is the metal piece on the side. Now this seems to be also on the Cold War ray gun, but the way I noticed it on the side of it, these metal bits, is when you pack a punch the ray gun on Cold War, it usually covers it and it doesn't stand out. Whereas when you pack a punch the ray gun on Vanguard, this part of the ray gun actually pops and stands out and makes me feel like it's a brand new version of the ray gun, which I first was assuming it is, like, oh, they added on something new to it. But no, it's just the way the Pack-a-Punch camo does work on Vanguard. And the next thing is, also speaking of Pack-a-Punch camo, on Cold War it does seem to cover basically the whole wonder weapon itself, whereas on Vanguard it does do the same thing but also leaves the voltage numbers on the back that you usually see when it's not Pack-a-Punch on the Cold War and Vanguard one, but on Pack-a-Punch Vanguard it stays there. And the next thing is, once you Pack-a-Punch it on Cold War, the middle bit of it, the part where, like, let's say all the ray bullets are, seem to turn red. So it goes from this bluish color to red, but on Vanguard it stays this really bright blue, mostly white color, which is nothing huge, but it's definitely something I wanted to point out. And a slight little change that I also noticed is on the sight bit, the bit that you see when you aim in, it does seem to be a tiny bit more brighter on Vanguard. The next thing is shooting the weapon. Now I wouldn't usually have this as a comparison, but it is very different between the two games. On Cold War, when you shoot the wonder weapon, there's practically no screen shake. When you shoot the zombies, they seem to die in a satisfying way of just, you shoot them, they can explode, but it's not anything severe, and they essentially just lose limbs in other scenarios. Whereas on Vanguard, when you shoot the ray gun, your screen shakes like crazy, and on top of that, when you hit zombies, it almost feels like in Vanguard, when you shoot the ray bullets at zombies, they explode. So it seems to be the same in a way animation of an explosive weapon, but just taken down a tiny bit, and it seems to have a huge blast blast radius. The ray gun usually does always have splash damage, but you don't notice it on Cold War as much as you do on Vanguard. And an interesting thing that I also noticed is the splash damage is a bit severe when it's not pack-a-punch. Now I know that when you upgrade Juggernaut on Vanguard, you can withstand more and more damage and splash damage, so maybe that's the main reason I'm noticing when I pack-a-punch the ray gun I don't take as much damage. And now moving on to the last category is the damage. First of all, I'm going to be comparing round-based damage on Cold War and obviously Daron Fong objective-based damage on Vanguard. I could go an Outbreak and compare it, but I feel like it's better to compare the main version that everybody would use on Cold War versus the main version that literally everybody will always use on Vanguard, because we're probably never going to get a different version of the game. So I'm going to go from no Pack-a-Punch 1, 2, and 3, and also I'm going to talk about the damage drop-off. Again, I need to point out the two games work totally differently with their damage of zombies. Max health cap seems to be similar on both games, but obviously the damage on the ray guns are different. These damages won't include, let's say, bonuses from the Ring of Fire, any Covenant, or also headshots, so this is just straight up to the body. The first one is no Pack-a-Punch, and I'm going to go over Vanguard first. So without Pack-a-Punch, it is 300 damage, then Pack-a-Punch level 1, 600 damage, Pack-a-Punch 2, 1200, and Pack-a-Punch level 3 is 2400. So you can see the damage isn't anything wild and insane, again because the health cap works totally different on Vanguard. But then moving over to Cold War, without Pack-a-Punch, it is 1000 damage. Wait, totally different, you know, from 300 to 1000. Pack-a-Punch level 1, 2000, Pack-a-Punch level 2, 4000, and Pack-a-Punch level 3, 8000. Way totally different, I know, but I just wanted to look at it in this certain point of view. And also, if I were to add the Ring of Fire, the biggest ones I was able to see with Ring of Fire on Cold War are from 10,000 to 20,000, and then looking at the one on Vanguard, the most I saw was like 3,000 to 4,000 damage, which isn't anything wild. But also you do have Covenants, which seem to kind of deal the exact same damage with the combination of Ring of Fire, which is a bit of an odd one. Now, when we talk about health cap, the health cap from my understanding on Vanguard zombies is round 40 plus, or objective round 40 plus, and it is going to take you around 4 shots without using Ring of Fire or any specific Covenant to give you more damage, which is a bit much. Shooting a zombie 4 times, even if they're in a group, it does kind of feel like the old ray gun we saw back in the good old days of Black Ops 3, where it was absolutely atrocious. Obviously it's not like that where it took like 50 shots to kill one zombie, but still 4 shots is quite a lot compared to how many shots it takes in Cold War, which is from around 55 plus, it takes you 3 shots. So it is just 1 less, but still I feel like that does make a huge difference, considering the damage difference at the top, it only taking you like 1 shot or 2 shot, to then moving over to health cap, and then plus it taking you around 4 shots to 3 shots. That's a bit of a interesting one. Anyway, that's going to be it for the kind of comparisons that I specifically wanted to look at unbiased. I want to give you my quick opinion. Personally, they feel very similar, but if I have to choose one in a certain way of feel, I kind of want to go for Vanguard. Now, before you start hating me, the Cold War one I feel like is missing a bit of screen shake. I know that's not for everyone. And number 2, the exploding of zombies when you use it on Vanguard also has such a satisfying effect. And on top of this, I think the reason I do slightly prefer the Vanguard one as of the time I'm recording is because we haven't had a ray gun for the past 3 and even 4 months ever since the game launched, which is abysmal. It's insane, but we have it, and that's why I think I enjoy it more. The Cold War one is going to be forever one of the most overpowered wonder weapons we've seen in zombies, but I think I currently prefer the Vanguard one. Don't judge me in the future if I say I prefer Cold War version. Anyway, comment down below what in your opinion is the best ray gun. If you have any more questions about other things, or you feel like I messed up or didn't include some information about it, then definitely comment down below, as I feel like others would benefit from it, and I will also love to read those. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video and I've convinced you to subscribe or anything like that, then definitely be sure to subscribe. And if you're still not convinced, maybe watch some of my other videos. I'll be covering a lot of season 2 Vanguard stuff, and we're also going to be getting year 2 of Cold War content starting from season 2, new weapons, and even multiplayer stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.